I can't believe the Oilers traded Gretzky away, Tiff.
Danny, you know that happened a long time ago, right?
Well, yeah, but I'm just reminiscing because on this week's second edition, we're taking you through the 90s.
That's right. We'll be looking at breakdancing, which was a big thing in the 90s. What else will we be going through?
We're going to be looking at some cool facts about the 90s on the web, and you'll be cooking a dish at Ernest.
Yeah, we'll be. We'll also take a look at some popular movies in the 90s.
Yeah, that and more coming up on this week's second edition.
Now here's some news.
Coming up on second edition news, the Nest gets a facelift.
Renovations are expected to be happening all
Christmas cheer started early for some Edmontonians.
And Bart is going to give us some insight on how Edmonton's homeless are preparing for the winter.
Hi, and welcome to Second Edition News. Big changes are going to be happening to the Nest.
The Nest has announced that it will be going under quite a few renovations next year. Renovations are expected to be happening all summer and be ready for the fall semester. The Nest is hoping to have more seating, better lighting, and a better stage, and just an overall better experience for all students. Govan Pillai believes the Nest will undergo a total transformation.
Turn it into something newer, more modern, a little sexier, so that students feel more comfortable in the space, and it hasn't been renovated in decades. So the students deserve it, and it's overdue.
Renovations start May 1st.
Edmontonians spread some Christmas cheer this past weekend. Saturday was the Christmas tree light up at Churchill Square. From performers to carolers, there was something to see everywhere. One New Edmontonian woman couldn't resist bringing her family.
Where we're from, it's not really a big event, and there's not really much advertisement, so I saw some advertisement about this, so I thought we'd come out and check it out.
And finally, to every kid's delight, the big guy in red arrived to kick it all off.
Brace yourselves, the snow outside means winter is fast approaching.
But for some, the fear is they may be left out in the cold. Bart Pjasik has more.
With winter weather hitting our city, it brings a lot of problems to most Edmontonians. But for the less fortunate, winter problems are more complicated than road conditions and chill. Richard Potash, homeless for 7 years, explains how the change in season makes life harder.
It's rough. Cold, hungry, because we can't afford apartments or anything like that.
Richard volunteers his time at Boyle Street. The center, along with community projects across the city, are preparing for the extra load of needy through their doors. But not everyone will be able to handle the rush and are expecting to be full capacity this winter.
This is an annual problem for the city, and not one the Capital Region sees going away anytime soon. Today, the city focuses on prevention and helping the needy in the best way they can.
The mayor and police representatives recently visited Boyle Street. They announced the city will be providing an additional $360,000 to expand the center's outreach program. Boyle Street employees were enthusiastic about this new funding.
Just the fact that it's an actual team now and that we have a whole source of resources and it's a bit more solid in terms of the funding that we have or not.
Aiden plans to use these new resources to help the areas displaced through these winter months. Bart Pjasik, Second Edition News.
Mothers Against Drunk Driving is pleased with the new proposed impaired driving legislation.
Applaud the government for the changes that they're bringing in under Bill 26. Like, we need to have the deterrent, right? Like, you have the prevention and you have the awareness and everything else, but you have to have the deterrent there. And I think if people know that if they blow at 0.08 or above, that they're done, basically, until they go through the court system.
Premier Redford is hoping that Bill 26 will come into effect before Christmas time.
Occupy Edmonton seems to finally be running the government's patience short. It's been a month since protesters gathered in Jasper Avenue and began their peaceful protest known as Occupy Edmonton. No arrests have been made, but protesters have been given an eviction order by the government. Consequences for not leaving Jasper Avenue will result in tickets and fines. Protesters are ready to weather the elements and the law. Mahad Mohammed isn't really worried about the fines and even feels inspired by the whole event.
It moves me to notice what people power can do, what they can affect. The numbers do talk. With people out here, we can change the system in 2 days if we wanted to.
The government has shown no signs to agree to their demands and has ordered power to be cut off from that area.
The YMCA has been a home and haven for many Edmontonians. It rings even more true for one woman. Comfort arrived a month ago after an unfortunate incident.
We sent an agent to put me out and then change the lock. So I slept in the street with the kid. I have to go back in the apartment. Yeah. So that's how the police came and found a shelter for me.
Visit www.edmonton.ymca.ca for more information on how you can help.
A study at the University of Ottawa has found women to be pretty judgmental and aggressive towards the type of clothing their peers wear. The study shows women get really aggressive and territorial with their boyfriends being sociable with women who are scandalously dressed, even if these women are their own friends. Studies say women will try to prevent any sort of friendships from forming with their peers. Studies also say women are extremely judgmental about the clothing their peers wear, whether it involves their boyfriends or not.
Like if I see a girl who's dressed in, I don't know, like skimpy dress or short shorts and stuff like that, I'm gonna assume that she's looking for attention.
Though this sentiment seems shared by many of the women, not all seem to embrace this study in the same way.
I would never judge someone on the way that they're dressed. I actually would promote someone to show their individuality, especially in their clothing, whether it was a guy or a girl.
We got sports with Brett McNiven coming up.
What have you got for us, Brett?
I've got some really exciting stuff, you guys. The Ukes were battling hard against the Portage Voyageurs. The Edmonton Oilers had a tough battle against the Dallas Stars. And Sidney Crosby is making highlights once again.
All right, looking forward to it.
That's all coming up in sports. The NAIT Ukes men's hockey team were looking to keep a 3-game winning streak going this weekend as they faced off against Portage. We start this game off with Stephen Pratt sending the puck out front to Yuri Puchetska, who shoots it just wide, but Steel Boomer cleans up the trash, putting the Ukes up 1-0. The rookie forward had 4 points in a recent game against McEwen. However, Portage would come back to tie up the score on a one-timer by Tim Crawley, who shoots it top shelf. Game and all knotted up at 1. Shannon Zabados got the start for the Ukes and made over 20 saves in the game. In the third period now, game still tied at 1. Pratt throws it on net, it's stopped, but he stays with the play and was rewarded with a goal to make the score 2-1. Late in the final frame, loose puck behind the Portage netminder, and Boomer pounces on it for his second goal of the game. Boomer would add an empty netter to complete the hat trick as NAIT prevails 4-1. The Oilers took on Dallas Monday night as they were coming off a 9-2 win over Chicago. The Stars hosted the Oilers and gave Oilers rookie Anton Lander a little welcome to the NHL moment with the huge hit, just laying him out. Lander would be alright. The Stars were up 2-0 when Jordan Eberle gets the puck over to Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, who puts it low short side for his 8th goal of the season. The Nuge clearly showing why he was the number 1 pick. The Oilers get unlucky as Stars forward Louis Eriksson gets 2 Oilers on one go, giving Dallas a 3-on-1 the other way. Nice pass from Nicholas Grossman gives Michael Ryder a clear shot and he roofs it by Habby Boulin. The Boulin wall with no answers for the Stars as Dallas wins this one 4-1. The Pittsburgh Penguins were in action on Monday and Sidney Crosby made his long-awaited return to the NHL. The Islanders were in Pittsburgh to play the Pens as Sidney Crosby is playing his first NHL game in over 10 months. The Penguins captain had been out with a concussion after taking 2 hits to the head last season. Crosby was on pace for 132 points before his injury, and he wasted no time getting back on pace. Takes a pass across center, goes around the defenseman, and backhands it top shelf for a beauty. Just over 5 minutes into the first, and he already has his first goal of the season. Over to the second period now, Pittsburgh up 2-0 win. Crosby gets it back to the tank, gives it to Malkin, shows off the pretty hands, putting it in the yawning cage. Pittsburgh up 3-0. And the fans are, I'm not really sure what they're doing, but they're certainly into this one. Heading into the final period now, Pittsburgh's lead extended to 4 goals when Crosby looks to the pass, keeps it and throws the backhand on net that just gets by the Islanders goalie. That's one he definitely wishes he had back. Crosby finished the night with 2 goals and 4 points as the Penguins win 5-0. Nate's badminton players were back to the court in another regional tournament last weekend.
Court 6, start your match, please.
Nate was hosting the ACAC Interlock tournament over the weekend, facing colleges such as Concordia and Red Deer. The Ukes did extremely well, winning games left and right. I got a chance to talk with their coach on their great success over the weekend.
We've won every event right now and looking good for the mix, so we could be winning both men's and women's singles, men's and women's doubles, and hopefully the mix. So it'll be the first time that's happened, probably ever, that one college has won all 5.
The Ukes will head to provincials in February and trek off to Kamloops for nationals shortly after that.
So that's something about Crosby coming back from a long injury and scoring 4 points?
Absolutely. It takes a special player to have a game like that after a long injury.
Well, that's all we have for news and sports. Thanks for joining us.
What were we thinking? Remember Pogs? Those little cardboard things that kids fought over and collected? Did you know that the word Pog actually refers to a brand of juice? It was made from passion fruit, oranges, and guava. How about Tamagotchis? Come on. Who takes care of a digital pet? Well, actually, an animated film was made about them in 2007. Furbies were also a huge hit throughout the 1990s. They were produced in 24 different languages around the world. And finally, my favorite, Super Soakers. Did you know that the first Super Soaker was invented by a rocket scientist?
Hey guys, I'm here in a dance studio. Anna's about to give us a little sneak peek into breakdancing, because that's something that was pretty big in the 90s. I'm just waiting for Danny. I don't really know where he... Danny, what are you wearing?
My tearaway pants tip. I was going to teach you how to breakdance today. I haven't got the move for you.
Oh, Danny, maybe we should just leave it to the professionals.
Yeah, maybe tough.
Here's Anna McLeod with the Reviving Edmonton segment.
Madeline Wong is a student at the University of Alberta. She's a second-year art student, works during the school year, and participates in breakdance battles on the weekends.
I like breakdancing because it's a free form of expression. Depending on how the music moves you and how you interpret the music, it can change for different people.
Breakdancing, or b-boying, first appeared on the streets of New York in the late 1970s. It's a subsection of hip-hop culture where the emphasis is dancing to the breaks in music, hence breakdancing. The popularity of the dance style seemed to wane in the 1990s, but breakdance instructor and active competitor Hubert Lin insists it's back on the map.
The scene, since when I started till now, has gotten huge.
The b-boy scene isn't exclusive. It's a fun and active hobby for people of all age ranges and backgrounds. That may be why it's becoming more and more popular, even here in Edmonton.
Kind of the OGs of Edmonton, the older generation, they're getting old, but they're still into it. They're still dancing hard, and they're still coming to rep the Edmonton scene. So the age range is pretty big. I don't think there's an age where you can stop until you decide to stop.
To find out more about breakdancing lessons in the Edmonton area, you can contact the Dancing Turtle Studio at 780-965-1451. For Second Edition, I'm Anna McLeod.
I found you at the coffee shop. What are you up to?
Oh, I'm just trying to catch a break and thinking about Leonardo DiCaprio. I was watching the Titanic the other day. What's your favorite movie?
Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park. Did you know that both of those films are shot in the 90s?
Actually, I did tough.
Oh, well, Baljo and Anna are going to be telling us more about that.
Okay, and Nick actually found a website with some cool facts about the 90s. You should check it out.
I definitely will. I can't wait to hear about that. Oh no, speaking of cool things.
What happened now?
I have to find a dish to bring to the Millennium Party.
Have any ideas yet?
Not really, but
No.
actually I'm hoping after cooking with Ernest, I'll have something really radical to bring.
Radical?
Yeah, that's what they used to say in the 90s, right?
Yeah, I guess so. We'll see what happens after the commercial break.
Listen to NR92, we play everything.
Huh?
NR92, we play a mix of what you want to hear.
NR92.com, the station for the students.
What if you were the DJ? What kind of music would you play?
At NR92, it's your music, your way. NR92, the station for the students.
Who's there? Huh? I don't get it. That was so random.
Random, just like NR92, playing your music when you want it.
NR92, the station for the students, by the students.
NR92 is your music and your attitude. Everything from rock like the Beatles to pop like Britney Spears. Tune into NR92.com, the station for the students.
Hey! Don't!
Listen to NR92. We play everything. NR92. We play a mix of what you want to hear.
NR92.com, a station for the students, by the students.
NR92.com streams 24/7, so when the party shuts down,
You don't have to.
encore, do you want more?
NR92.com, your music, your attitude.
Looking for someone hot to talk to tonight?
Yes, please.
We want to hear from you.
Reach us on Facebook or Twitter today.
Get with us on NR92.com, the station for the students.
Hey! Don't!
Listen to NR92. We play everything. NR92. We play a mix of what you want to hear.
NR92.com, a station for the students, by the students.
Hi and welcome to Cooking with Ernest. Here I have Chef TJ Atkinson and I'm Tiffany Lise. Now Chef, I'm looking at all these very colorful ingredients, which a lot I have in my fridge and home. What are we going to be making with this today?
Today we're going to do a fresh fruit salsa.
Okay.
And like you said, you can use an assortment of different characters.
Okay, so let's go through these ingredients here.
All right, so today we have a pineapple salsa that we're doing. So we have nice cubes of pineapple.
Okay.
We have some diced Roma tomatoes, some red onion. Do you have any idea what kind of peppers we have here?
Jalapeno peppers, maybe?
These ones are a serrano, it's like a cousin. A little bit spicier, a little more heat to them. We also have honey. If you want to give this one a smell, it's an apple cider vinegar.
Ooh, it smells delicious.
Then we have some lemon juice, and of course, for most salsas, a chopped cilantro.
Okay, so let's start throwing it together.
Yeah, so that's the great thing about a salsa is once you have everything prepped, it's more or less just tossing together in a bowl.
Okay, so it's simple.
We have the pineapple in there, we have some tomato.
Now, can we substitute the pineapple and the tomato for anything at all?
So if you don't want to use pineapple, you could do something like mango or orange salsa. You could do a blood orange.
Okay.
We also need to add in our onions.
Onions.
And our peppers here. So you could use a variety of peppers, like you said, jalapenos, which are a little more milder. So if you didn't want a very spicy salsa, and I'll get you to put this in there.
The honey.
The honey kind of sticks into there.
There we go.
And
awesome, helps it kind of keep it all together.
Exactly, and add a little sweetness
Awesome.
to it. We have our vinegar and our lemon juice in there.
That looks great.
And you want to finish with your fresh herbs too, so we're going to add the cilantro right at the end like this.
Perfect. All right, so it looks really nice and colorful here.
Mm-hmm.
It smells awesome. So you want it to be liquidy, right? You want it to kind of complement the sauce on the meat?
So you're going to have some sauce. Yeah, so today we have a salmon. You can use this for chicken. A teriyaki chicken would be good as well. But nice fresh salsa gives it lots of flavor.
Right on. Well, this has been Chef TJ Atkinson. I'm Tiffany Lise, and this has been Cooking with Ernest.
Wow. One thing I sure don't miss about the 90s is waiting for dial-up internet.
Amen. I hope Nick is having better luck getting on his website for web jams.
I hope so, because this is painful.
Yeah, no kidding. It'll be 2020 before we get on this website.
InThe90s.com is a website that has been built by people submitting a variety of articles and pictures covering pop culture and special events throughout the decade. The site has 2 moderators, Chucky G and Red Ant, and it is a pretty comprehensive look back at the 90s. With the old school simple layout, this website actually feels like you are surfing the web of yesteryear. The website offers message boards ranging from music trends, television shows, movies, and even big events in the news. In the music section, you can look up concert reviews, song lyrics, or even discographies of popular 90s artists. The movie and television sections contain top 10 lists of favorite scenes or shows, quotes, and even old primetime TV schedules. The World Events section has obituaries, a timeline, and even a "Where were you when the O.J. Simpson verdict was read?" The site even has a fashion and fads section which covers food, clothing, toys, and slang.
So if you want to go back to a time of bling bling and swing, you should check out inthe90s.com. For second edition, I'm Nick Berry.
No.
Hey, Mojo.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. So, are you crying?
No, I am not crying. I'm not crying. I'm
Oh.
just watching my favorite movie of the 90s.
Oh, Jurassic Park?
No, not Jurassic Park. Titanic.
What? Seriously? JP was obviously the best movie of the 90s.
I think you know what this means.
Dueling movie review?
Dueling movie review. Titanic is the story of 2 star-crossed lovers on the ill-fated, unsinkable ship. Jack, played by Leo DiCaprio, and Rose, played by Kate Winslet, are from 2 different social classes. While Jack teaches the frigid Rose to loosen up and be more normal, they start to fall in love while the Titanic goes ahead on its doomed journey.
And Jurassic Park is a story of science and man's hubris gone out of control. Eccentric billionaire John Hammond builds a park inhabited by dinosaurs and invites some people over to inspect the park before it opens, including Alan Grant, played by Sam Neill, and Ellie Sadler, played by Laura Dern. Of course, the park's security systems fail and the dinosaurs run amok.
Clever girl.
Jurassic Park is also the biggest movie of the 90s. The groundbreaking special effects still look fantastic today, and the movie made $914 million at the box office, a world record at the time.
That would be impressive, except Titanic came along 4 years later and made $1,843 million.
Oh yeah? Well, Jurassic Park had this scene.
Good point. What do you say to a compromise, Anna?
Okay then. 5 sinking ships for Titanic.
And 5 mosquitoes trapped in amber for Jurassic Park.
And speaking of fruit, I just bought a new bandsaw.
It's the king of tools.
Absolutely. You can really use it for anything.
No, buy the socks. I got a good feeling about this Enron thing.
Danny.
Okay, hold on, I'll call you back.
So, we just went through the 90s.
We did.
How do you feel?
I feel good. We learned a lot of cool facts about the 90s stuff.
That's true. We got to talk about breakdancing.
And you got to cook a good dish for Ernest
Oh,
for your
that
party.
was so much fun. And we talked about the Titanic.
And don't forget about Jurassic Park.
I guess so. Well, on behalf of all of Team A, I think we can wish everyone a happy millennium.
For sure. Hey, Tiff, you forgot about something.
What?
The countdown.
The countdown. Are you ready?
Let's go.
Oh, 10.
She was pre-op and it got a little awkward.
If I had a nickel.
Oh, 9?
8.
7.
6.
5.
4.
2, 1.
Happy New Year.
From everyone here at Second Edition, we wish you a happy holiday.